Hello.
Hi, everybody. Hello, hello.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sam. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm not like a super morning person, but
Right, right.
it is 10 a.m. on this coast. But I grabbed a little bit of caffeine, and I think it'll be good.
Oh, I know it's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good.
I know it's
And
gonna be good.
I'm so appreciative of you getting up early to come and hang with me.
Like, ooh, for that 10 a.m. start.
I'm not much of a morning person either, and it's 1 o'clock here. So, truth be told, I did not get out of the bed until 10:30 this morning. So,
Okay,
I mean,
I actually feel much better now.
good.
Like much
Oh.
better.
Oh my gosh. Hello, everybody. Hi, Susie. Hi, Jan. How are you? Hey, Terry. Hi, Patricia. My team is in the house. It's so good to see everybody. There's Miss Shira. Hi, Bonnie. Oh my goodness. You guys have asked for Sam and I to get back together for so long. And
We're back.
We are finally back. We are finally back. Had to work
Oh, Jesse's turning the lights on.
had to work some magic.
I know it's early, but we need some color.
Jesse said I need some color.
Well, light is color.
Everyone wave hi to Jesse. He's over. Whoa, that way. Whoa. Anyway, he's in the room.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I think it's been a year, Sarah.
It's been forever. It feels like so much longer than that. Like it's been a minute for sure.
It's kind of crazy.
So, I know.
And I love the time because our birthdays are coming up really soon.
I know.
So it feels like we just get to start celebrating early, which is
I love it. I love it.
And I know you're also someone who likes to celebrate your birthday for a long time.
Oh yeah, all month. It must be celebrated all month. And the older I get, the longer the celebration must last. So
well, it's June 24th, so I think we can start today if you want.
Absolutely, I'm about it. All about it.
So happy birthday, Sarah.
Thanks, happy birthday, Sam.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and happy birthday to Shira too. She's a July birthday baby too.
Mm-hmm. She's first of us actually, because she's July 4th. Because you're July 19th, 17th, 19th?
19, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same with my grandma's birthday.
Yep. So we honestly, I think we probably could have just done a live together where we just chatted and everybody would have been happy. But you did bring the beady goodness. So
always.
Tell everybody what we got going on. This is really exciting. Like this idea, I don't know if this was a Rachel idea or a Sam idea or a combined idea, but it's brilliant regardless of who came up with it. And I'm really excited about it because I get to play with things and like remind people about things that they may have forgotten about. And that's so exciting. It's so exciting.
Because it's been a year, we had Sarah basically look back at the past year of boxes and pick out a box from it. And so Sarah picked out the Market Marvels box, which was in September. It was a collaboration with Danielle Wicks, who of course has a wonderful eye for color and a good friend of ours. And hello, Bead Train. And it's also one of my personal favorites. So when Rachel and I were chatting, we're like, okay, let's have Sarah pick it. And I was like, wrote in the meeting notes, I was like, Sarah's gonna pick Market Marvels.
That's what Rachel said.
And then within like an hour, Sarah was like, Market Marvel.
Yes.
And I was like, I know her.
Yep. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
It's really nice.
It really is. And I love anything Danielle has her hands in. Of course I adore, because just like you said, she's so good at color and she's just an incredible designer in general. So anything that she puts out into the world is good. This box, the colors,
Mhm.
it's so good. And it's not just like, here's a rainbow of colors. Like there is texture and dimension within the colors that really gives this such a rich, warm feeling to it that I'm obsessed with. Obsessed with. The beads that y'all picked out are phenomenal. So yeah, of course I picked this one.
Yeah, because it reminded me a little bit of the Ancient Ruins box that you really liked way
Yeah.
back when.
Yes.
And this one, it definitely has different colors than Ancient Ruins has.
Mhm.
And I think it's a good one that you're designing with because it has a pretty good plethora of colors. And some folks, remember when we sent out the box, were like, how do I put all these colors together?
Yeah.
Because it's inspired by, imagine you're like in a bazaar in like basically somewhere like along the Silk Road where there would just be like so many different cultures from Europe and Asia basically coming together.
Yeah.
And so you have all these different design styles walking around the market, and you see these lamps that are just like every color and all these beautiful glass types and jewelry, just like it's just a plethora of so many different materials and textures and colors, brightness, darkness. So we really try to bring that bounty together in this box. So we'll take a quick look at it, and then today is about designing. So Sarah has some really fun designs using the Market Marvels box. And I have an announcement.
Okay.
Rachel says that she has discounted the Market Marvels box for until the end of August. So
Ooh la
if
la.
folks want to grab a Market Marvel box, regardless if you've already have one, if you want another one, you can actually get $10 off the Market Marvels box using code Sarah Market, SARA Market. So use the link in this video, and don't forget that coupon code to get $10 off.
Yep.
So you're buying that through samsbeadshop.com versus samsbeadbox.com, which is where you can subscribe to future boxes.
Right.
We'll get more into that later. But if you want this box, Rachel will just put a discount on it. Just use that code. But we'll put that in the comments for folks.
Yes.
Let's take a look at the Market Marvels box.
All right, let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to. Does that work? That
Yep.
works. All right, I'm gonna turn you
Oh,
guys
I
around.
forgot. I get to be mini me.
All right, so let's take a quick look through this. So you guys know this was a September 2024 box. So some of you already have this one and loved it. Like Sam said, you may want to grab another one, or maybe you missed out the first time around. This is a good opportunity to do so. So there are other unboxings of this, obviously. So we're going to kind of breeze through this pretty quickly. But one of the first things I wanted to start out with was one of the most beautiful parts of this. And that is the two different Toho seed bead mixes that were in here, because these are I'm sorry, these are Mayukis, are they not? Did I mess that up?
I think they're Miyuki. I have the item list here. I'll grab.
I think they are Mayukis. Yeah, they are. They're Mayuki's rounds and cubes. Sorry about that, y'all.
No, you're good.
Regardless, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. And it would not have been a Danielle box without some beautiful seed beads. So I love that there are two different styles in here. So you get the round ones and the cubes. The cubes are so fun, guys. If you have not ever had an opportunity to play with cubes, I like to use them on the loom because the way that they create like almost like beaded fabric, because they lay together so nicely. So definitely want to play with those. They're so pretty. So pretty. All right. One of my other favorite, there are lots of favorites in here, but one of my other favorite things that was in this box are the cubic zirconia faceted rounds. And I got to show you, I only have a few. I have a few left on the strand, because if you guys have been with me for a while, you know that my very favorite thing to do with sparkly goodness is to make a cluster. So I used a ton of these to create a cluster. It was actually the very first thing I did with this box. I'm going to show it to you here in just a second. But these beads, cubic zirconia beads make me so stinking happy. And
they're just so sparkly. They're so nice to work with because they don't really break, because they're lab made and they're super hard. So really easy to work with and very pretty.
I mixed these with another one of my favorites to create this amazing cluster. So I'm obsessed with this, like obsessed with this bead.
You're not just your nails there.
Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. This is like, if vacation could be a bead, it's this. This bead is vacation. So then I took not all of them, obviously, but almost all of the cubic zirconias, to create a beautiful multicolored cluster for the bottom of this.
Oh, that's so special.
Oh, I love it. I'm just gonna put it on a piece of chain and wear it, just like a long chain, and
Mhm.
layer it with other things. But yeah, I couldn't resist the cluster. It just needed to happen.
Now
So
that's a Sarah cluster because
oh
I was
yeah.
already I already got out lots of head pins this morning. I was like, I feel like I'm gonna probably make a cluster, so I got out a bunch of head
Yes.
pins.
Oh, you
And then
have to
Sarah
make a
already has me
cluster.
beat.
All right, this is another favorite I adore.
Mhm.
So pretty. I just want to restring it and turn it into like a stretch bracelet because they're so pretty. They're so pretty. Each one has a little something something. Look
Yeah,
at
it's
the
that
little
Millefiori style where they
flowers.
like make these canes that with the flower patterns and then form the canes into beads. It's super cool.
Look at that one with the little heart. They're just fabulous. I love them so, so much. Beautiful, beautiful addition. All right. Then there were some Z beads, and I've used some of these in the design. So some of them I have over here, but you can see this is the first time I've ever had Z beads in a color other than like
Yeah,
brown
these
or
were
red.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're almost always neutral colors. I thought it was fun to get them in like in a dyed blue for this box.
They're beautiful. Love those. Love those. Love those. All right. All right. Another favorite here. I loved the entire box. Let's just be honest. These are fabulous.
Yeah, there's a few different we did those lamp work, which is like that's an Indian lamp work. And we also did that larger lamp work that Sarah showed on the tassel. And I just thought those were so perfect for this box, just to give those that mosaic type feel.
Gosh, so pretty. So,
Or
so
let's
pretty.
I just want to be able to like design a ton with you today. Let's like rapid fire and then
Okay, rapid fire. I'm sorry.
and then
Everything's
bead.
in baggies. So like,
Oh.
okay, there's this one. And there's these.
Yeah, we have our Wandel mix.
Mm-hmm.
And then this cool new shape that we found that I couldn't even describe, but it's super fun in turquoise.
Those are awesome. The metal elements in this one are really cool too. There are 3 of these?
3 brass stampings with different loops on them. They're not all the same in there.
Those are awesome. These guys are gorgeous.
Yeah, this is like a very premium table cut with mixed glass, and we have about 3 of those.
Yummy.
There's a personal favorite of mine. That's that mosaic quartz. It's a mix of dyed jades, essentially, and
so pretty.
Meant to be in a ruby, emerald, and sapphire color brought together.
Perfect.
Some of the main gems of the gem trade.
And then these I love these too. These check glass druck beads.
Yeah, that's nice red druck bead with tons of also finish on it.
So pretty. Daggers.
More red with Picasso. We like to try to tie things together, and then some turquoise and Picasso.
So pretty. These little babies that I've used a few of.
I was like, were there more?
There were also these guys, and there's 2 of the little hamster hands, but we're using 1 in the design. These are really pretty too.
Yeah, I really like some of these specialty shapes here. Because it was important for us to find shapes for this box that felt a little different to make it stand out.
They're the drops.
The drop blend. I love how this blend came together. It's blue. It's a cobalt blue, a turquoise, champagne, and then garnet color in there.
So pretty. I love these. The little stars.
Aren't they so cute?
So cute. And then we had these guys, which I've used a few of these as well.
Is that our second gem? Yeah, we did this is the red jasper gem cut coin. I'm obsessed with the gem cut coin.
And then we can't leave out this because this was the inspiration for the bracelet that we're gonna make.
Yeah, our lapis focal with the brass wrapping, and it has two hoops making a nice link option. And some of those other brass pieces are links as well. So like there's lots of options if you want to bring things like kind of link them together for a focal or whatnot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't even think about that. Oh, you can make some really cool focals with that.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna be making a few designs today, but if you want like even more, Danielle just kept making with this box, so you should definitely check out all the classes we did with Danielle on the Sam's Beach Shop YouTube channel. We did like fringe earrings was one of the main projects with all the seed beads. Super cool. But Sarah, I love, took it a whole different direction, which is like, I didn't know it. We never know what Sarah's going to make. No one knows. Sarah doesn't know.
Right? It's a surprise to even me. So admittedly, some of the very first things that I was inspired by in this box were the seed beads. That's why that was one of the first things that I wanted to show you guys. And then this guy. So this is where this entire bracelet project that I put together, this is where it started. And I knew that I wanted to do something kind of unique, a little bit different with the seed beads instead of just using them in a stringing project, which I do love to do. I adore using seed beads as spacers, but I wanted to really take advantage of the color in these. So what I did was I created a little component here on a really large seed bead. So you're going to see, let me show, or not on a seed bead, on a really large jump ring. So I had to dig around because I knew I had a jump ring that was going to be big enough to accommodate this.
That is a mega jump ring.
It is a mega jump ring. And I would normally probably never really use this in anything. So I thought this was the perfect use for it. So I'm going to show you real quick how to create something like this, because this little link, I'm going to put it into the bracelet. But once you make something like this, you could very easily turn these into earrings. There's enough seed beads left over. Obviously, you could create just about anything. You could make a little focal out of it. Anything you wanted to do. And then if you have other seed beads that you got from Sam's Bead Shop, you can always do things like this, right? Because there's so many different ways I could incorporate this into a design. So
can I use a soldered link for this as well?
You could. So then I'm going to talk about that, because the one that I have opens up, which might make life a little bit easier, but you can do this regardless of if it will open or not. So we'll talk about that as we get started. So what I'm going to use is some 24 gauge wire. You could use 26 if you wanted to too. It's just whatever you're kind of comfortable with. And I honestly don't know the length. I'm just going to cut like a lot and see what happens. You know, I'm just going to cut a lot and we'll hope for the best here. I've given myself like 24 inches, and I think that that's probably way more than we need, but just to be on the safe side. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to thread it through my loop here, or through my jump ring, and I'm going to anchor that on with a couple of wraps. So this is, if your ring is soldered, you're going to just push it through the center like that and just kind of pull it through every time. I'm going to do that again. And you're going to do this even with the beads on it. So, but if you have a jump ring instead of a soldered ring, you can actually open this up and you don't have to push it through the center. So it's really kind of just, it's going to work either way. If you want to open the jump ring up and just slide it in between the opening, you can do that instead. And that might make life a little bit easier, but all right. So once I get that anchored on, I'm going to undo the tail and cut that off, because I want this to be as clean as possible. Okay, so I anchored that with like 2 wraps. All right, now I'm going to use the tail end of my wire, and I'm going to dump out my seed beads here. And now I'm just going to load up my wire with as many seed beads as possible. And I may need more, I may need less. It doesn't matter. You don't really know until you get going. And it's going to kind of vary a little bit, because unless you have the exact same size ring that I do, it may take more or it may take less. So, however many
is to totally fill up the space on the ring.
Yes. And however many you think you need, you're probably going to need more than that. So you think you have enough, guess what? You probably don't. So just keep going. So I'm just going to load it up. And
this is where like that bead spinner can like
oh yeah, the bead spinner would definitely make this much, much quicker.
But you're going about twice the speed I would be picking them up at.
Well, and I'm going really random. You can do a pattern if you want to. I'm just kind of just picking them up and letting it be whatever it's going to be, because we're going to twist it around. We're going to spiral it around the jump ring. So it's going to kind of do its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of find that if you do a pattern with this, it really is just kind of not good for anything other than just exhausting yourself. So random is better, in my opinion.
I think that kind of fits the vibe we were going for.
Yeah.
In
for
this
sure.
box.
All right, so I have picked up a bunch, and I know that that's not enough, right? I have several inches of seed beads. I know that's not enough, but it's a good place to start. So give yourself, 3 or 4 inches of seed beads to get started, and then go from there. So I'm going to take all of those seed beads and I'm going to drop those down. Okay, and I have them dropped down right up next to the jump ring. All right, now this is where, if you can open this up, it may make your life a lot easier. Just because it's not exactly the most fun thing to push these seed beads through the center. But I am going to just push mine through the center, because that's actually what I did. So I'm just going to push those through the center, and I'm trying to keep the seed beads rather as close together as possible while I do this. So I push all the seed beads through and then pull the length of the wire. I have way too much wire, like way too much wire. Like a ridiculous amount of wire. Okay. And the goal here is you want to create a coil. And mine is spinning, unfortunately. So I couldn't hold on to my tail end very well. But you're going to make sure you're holding on to where you started, because otherwise this is just an exercise in irritation, because it's just going to spin around and you're never going to create anything. Hold on, let me cut some of this wire off. So I want to keep the seed beads lined up as much as possible when doing this. That's what's going to really kind of create the coil. If you let there be extra room between them, you're going to have these big gaps. And we definitely don't want that. And this does take some patience, you guys, obviously. And obviously, the bigger the ring, the easier this is.
Yeah. I feel like the key part with this sort of wrapping is we see how Sarah's like pushing the first bit of wire in first.
Yeah. And it's the first wrap around that's the hardest. And then if you'll hold on to it, and I can't seem to hold on to it because, I'm nervous, and now I've lost all my seed beads and I'm freaking out. So let's start over with this again, shall we? Let me show you. If you open your jump ring, makes a big difference. Okay, so I lost all my seed beads because I got nervous. My first time back with Sam, and I'm like, oh my gosh, now I just totally destroyed everything I did.
Do you want a moment? I could distract for a moment.
Yes, distract us, please, Sam. Show us what you're doing.
So Rachel very kindly gave me the newest Sam Bead box, so I can get to see a little variety from Marker Marvels into our June box, which was all about peaches, sweet peaches. And so this one was really influenced by Shira and her time spending a lot of time in Louisiana. And so it's all about like picking sweet summer peaches. There's a little bit of Southern charm we tried to add into some of the details of this box. And it's all about those minty tones with the peaches. And so I just started, I knew I was almost there. I was like, I'm going to probably be making some dangles. So I started wrapping up some of the drops from this box. And I want to make some sort of cluster. I haven't fully picked out what the beads of the cluster might be, but I I think the melon drops would look pretty good. I honestly think if I even just like a mix of shapes could look really nice, and maybe I'll mix in some of the flowers. The other drop I really like are these ones. How many types of beads do you think a cluster would allow?
Oh my gosh. I probably 3, maybe 4. It just kind of depends on what your shapes are, because the bigger shapes are obviously going to drown out your smaller ones. But all of them. Add them all of the beads. No cluster. No cluster. I have no cluster preference. All the clusters with all the beads. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go for it then.
Yeah. You just got to be careful, because like I said, some of the bigger beads just really kind of take over and cover up the smaller beads. But
yeah, maybe I won't do the super chunky one. Okay, let me if I take that one out. Even these 3 have a nice blend.
Oh, those are so pretty.
Maybe one contrast bead in there. Maybe one of I think a small blue. I could use some of the leaves as a little dangle blue as well. Yeah.
All right, so just to show you guys that this does in fact work, okay? So you can see I got a couple of rounds. Once you get that first one, the first wrap around, it's so much easier, because then you have something to really hold on to, and you're just going to push your beads through. And again, trying to make those beads as lined up as possible, particularly when you are coiling around. So what I like to do is I'll put like my fingers right at the end of where my beads are, and just make sure that they're not sliding out of the way into the rest of the length of the wire. Is very, very helpful, because that's going to help you avoid any of those gaps. All right, so you can see as I coil it around, I'm really pushing the beads. So you can see how that's gonna.
Oh, nice.
You're gonna fill up the entire. Yeah, you're gonna fill up the entire ring with those. And what's going to end up happening is, and just to save time, because obviously I've made a disaster here, you're going to make it all the way around. We're gonna move on to some of the next steps, but you're gonna make it all the way around. Okay. And when you reach the wire wraps where you anchored, you're going to wire wrap over the top of those. So it almost looks seamless. If you're looking at the one that I completed, you almost can't see it. It's right there. So you can see this was the first wrap and this was the final wrap. I made sure that I didn't have any beads there, and I just wrapped over the wraps where I started and then cut off the excess.
Yeah, you don't really see it.
Yeah, you don't, unless you're really, really looking for it, you do not see it. So it makes a really nice kind of seamless spiral of seed beads. So once you get this guy going, then we're going to move on to incorporating this into a project. All right, so
we've made our first bead.
We've made our very first bead, and it took a minute, but I feel like it was a labor of love, because it's really cool little component that you can use in this design. But then again, there's more seed beads left over. So if you wanted to make like some earrings with this to match your bracelet, you definitely could, or you could make this part of a focal in a pendant. It's just really fun. Plus, I know it's time consuming, but like, you put on your favorite Netflix show and just, you can just sit and do.
You could make a whole necklace of those linked together.
You totally could. Oh my gosh, it would take a while, but it would be so beautiful.
There's a lot of seasons of Grey's Anatomy.
Yes, exactly. All right, so I made sure that I had some jump rings that were going to clear the edge of this thing, because now not only do I have a large jump ring, but I have a large jump ring that now has beads all over it. So I'm going to need some larger jump rings to attach to this. Now, you could, if you wanted to, create like little wire with your own pieces of wire, like wrapped loops or whatever you want to do, because I think you could very easily slide those in between some of your wraps here. But I like to keep it simple, particularly after I've done something like this. So I'm just going to use some jump rings on either side. So I'm going to take large jump ring, open it up nice and wide, and hook that on. And I'm going to attach my my little link here to that because I wanted these two things to be together. Make sure you get a good closure on your jump ring. All right, so there's that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side.
That's so cool. I love that we also have Danielle here in the comments. Danielle, what do you think of this new transformation of the seed bead mix? I think it's so cool.
All right, so now I can attach this in two different places, right? I've got a jump ring on one side with my little connector, and then I have a jump ring on the other side, which means that I can now string some beautiful beads on next to that. So let's do that real quick. Let me grab some bead stringing wire. And
Susie says it's a beaded donut, and she's so right.
she is. And it's funny that this crowd, it's not funny, actually. It's pretty typical that this crowd would take this to the food place.
It's an everything bagel.
Yes, it's like an everything bagel.
It's everything everywhere all at once.
I love it. Where are my wire guardians? All right, so I'm going to thread on a wire guardian. And I'm going to hook my wire guardian to one of those jump rings that I just added. So on the opposite one, not the one that has my connector on it. So before I go back down through my crimp, slide that through that jump ring. Whoops. Oh, my jump ring's not closed. Hold on. Definitely create a little issue. All right.
Jan said, beaded lifesaver. It's like a pool floaty.
It is like a pool floaty. Oh my gosh, that's funny. All right, now I'm going to go down through my crimp. All right. I'm so flustered. Those seed beads jumping off of that wire just kind of sent me into a panic.
I was sitting here. I was like, I am so glad I am not having to wrap these seed beads with like a giant iPad blocking my view. Like, this is horrible.
Yeah. It was so I don't know. It definitely threw me off. So now I'm trying to get my groove back, but I feel like I'm all like thumbs at the moment. Okay, here we go. All right, now we're gonna string some beads. I know I can string some beads, right? I definitely can do that part. All right, so we are going to string these beautiful babies. And this strand, by the way, has some little seed beads between it that were separating out these beads. They're bigger than the seed beads that are in the mixes. And I'm one of those people who like no bead left behind. Like even the beads, the little beads that go in between things, you know, that are just put on there just because I'm using those. I wanted those part of the design. So I'm popping one of those little beads in between. I'm going to thread another one of these on. And another one of these little seed beads. They were just a little bit bigger than the ones that I used from the mix. Mm-hmm. So I thought they were the perfect size here. So I'm gonna do.
I don't know why I'm always surprised when people make use of those seed beads, because I think of them as like just, I don't know, they're just the protector bead for the red jasper.
Exactly. And I think that a lot of people feel that way, but I was like, you know what? They work. They're the right color. Like they totally work for the design. So might as well use them. They They get to live a long life as well.
Not in my house.
All right, then I'm going to use 2 of the beautiful faceted rondelles in this really yummy kind of honey color next to the hand bead.
Hi, Wanda.
Wanda's here.
Wanda, I was thinking about you the other day, but I can't remember why. It'll come to me.
All right, then I'm going to thread on.
I was buying cantaloupes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, that's exactly what it was.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, they were on sale.
And when you were picking them up, did you say to yourself, these are in fact some nice melons?
Well, I bought 2 of them. I had to.
That's too funny.
I was like, oh, where's Wanda to appreciate this?
Oh my goodness.
Janet wants to make donut wreaths or donut design in a holiday style.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be
For the-
really pretty.
I think that would work really well. Like, you could make those as large as you want. I guess you could make or find a frame and then use larger beads if you want to make a larger size wreath with that technique.
All right, so these are the beads that I chose to string up. And I'm not done with the seed beads though, because I do love these seed beads so much. So I decided that instead of doing like a standard, another like crimp and, you know, a clasp of some variety, I'm going to do a loop and then we're going to make a wire clasp. So I'm going to thread on a crimp and then I'm going to thread on a bunch of these little seed beads to make a loop that we can connect to. So again, just stringing on. Make sure you string your crimp on first. And then just however big you want your loop to be. So I'm using like maybe 30 to 35 seed beads here. And I'm just going to drop all those down.
I like that we're able to keep the thematic design element of this bracelet going, because you have all the wraps on the donut, and then now the clasp is also going to have that theme. Wow, that's a loud bead train. Oh, I might need to mute. That's loud.
I don't know. You shouldn't have muted. That was pretty cool.
So we realized, like, when we moved into this space that, God, it's been 2 years, that bead trade, like, it's pretty relentless. So on the lives, anytime folks hear the bead train, they have to call out, and then sometimes like $3 of bead credit falls on their account.
Oh, that is awesome. I love it.
The bead train is overflowing, Sarah.
All right, so then I just went right back down through my crimp. So I've created a little beady loop here, and I will crimp.
How long did those clusters take you to make? Because I feel like I've only made like 10 wrap loops so far. And
I've gotten to where I can do it in about 30 minutes, but yeah, it takes a while. It takes a while. Like the one that I made, this one took forever. Like probably about an hour.
That's amazing.
It's a commitment for sure.
You don't get Q to come in and just make all the loops for you.
Oh, he doesn't like it when I use the tiny wire. Because I use 24 gauge wire head pins on this one. If they are not 22 gauge or bigger, he does not want to have any part of it. He's like, nope, I don't do that small wire stuff. Nope. Yeah, he's not a fan.
Wait, but that means he will help with the wire.
Oh yeah, he will help with the wire. He has really kind of blossomed into a little jewelry maker.
Really? So, you have a protege?
I do. And my daughter is right behind him. So now I have not only do I share the space with Q, but I also share the space with my daughter. She took over the desk where I take my photographs for things. So she makes and I make and Q makes, and it's a family thing now.
That is so cute.
He's made several kits for my shop, and yeah, he's definitely, it's a fun little hobby that it's so funny because his friends, like, I mean, you know, Q, he's like, he looks like tough guy, you know, and his friends are just like that. They're like these big beefy tough guys, but like he's so proud of his jewelry that he makes, and he has to tell all his friends, like he'll FaceTime them and be like, look at what I just made. Look, is this not awesome? I'm like, that is so cute. It's so cute.
Oh, that is really good.
Oh my goodness. All right. So now I am going to also add some dangles to this before we work on the clasp, because I can't not. And so I'm using these cutie little beads right here, and I'm going to do a little wire wrapped little bead cap and loop on those. And we are going to dangle those on this side of our little connector. And then we're going to create a quick little wire clasp out of some 18 gauge wire. But first things first, we're going to wire wrap the little beads here. All right, so I'm going to thread these on. I like to do these the same way that I do a bellflower. So where the wire exits the bead, I'm just going to go ahead and bend it instead of bending it over the pliers. And I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers, and I'm kind of holding that off to the side because that's where the wire is. I'm going to go up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side, and then I'm going to roll that loop down to the top surface of the bead. Now when I go to wire wrap, I'm going to wire wrap around the base of that loop, but also around kind of the top of the bead as well.
It really is a nice accent to the lily bead.
It is. It's just it's like a little hat for your bead. I like it. Super cute.
I like it because I like that bead. Use a little extra detail.
Mm-hmm. So cute, cute, cute. All right, then I'm going to trim off the excess. And if your end is sticking out, you can tuck it just a little bit. All right, then I'm going to...
Sorry.
I'm going to do a little jump ring, one jump ring to connect these two together.
Yeah, bend and snap.
Oh, and then another jump ring to connect these to the connector. Okay, so now we're going to create a little clasp to go with this. We may have to open this jump ring back up, but that's okay. I'm going to hook that right here. All right, so this is what we have so far. And if you wanted to use this like a standard clasp, you totally could, but I wanted to do a little wire or something. So I am going to create myself a little S hook with some 18 gauge wire. So I'm going to use my stepped bell making pliers for this, but you can use literally anything, a pencil, a pen, anything that you've got to create some small little S shapes with. And I'm going to use 18 gauge wire. So grab a little bit of this. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the tiniest little loop on the end, right? It's just a little baby loop. Even the smallest mandrel on my pliers is not small enough to do that. So I'm just going to use my chain nose pliers. And I'm just going to grab the very tip of that wire, and I'm just creating like the tiniest little hook. And then push that together just like that. All right, then I'm going to use my bell making pliers. And you can make this whatever size you want to, but put your little hook right up against the tool. Create your little S shape or your little hook. Just like that. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to place that into the tool right up against the tool. And then I'm going to go the other direction. So now I've created like a little figure 8, and I'm going to trim. And I'm going to trim, leaving myself a little bit extra so that I can create, again, another one of those little hook shapes. So I'm just going to trim and then pull that apart, use my pliers. Do the same thing on the other side. The reason you want these to be nice and small is because if you're using, you know, a jump ring, first of all, you're going to need something to attach this to, but also I want it to be able to clear whatever my loop is. So for this, it's a large loop. It doesn't really matter. But if you were going to use like a 6mm jump ring, this little end is going to have to fit through a 6mm jump ring. So just keep that in mind when you are creating these little S hooks. And I really kind of mangled mine with my pliers. But all right, and then you're just going to put this on the block and work harden it. And I use my nylon hammer to do that. So put this on. And
here we go, folks.
then I hammer away on both sides. And I really, really, really hammer this because I don't trust these clasps, just being honest with you. I have a really hard time putting these on bracelets and relying on them. So the stronger you can make your wire, the better it is. If you do not work harden this and you leave this soft, even for German style wire, if you leave it soft without work hardening it, if you get your bracelet caught on something, this is just going to open up on you. So I really, really spend a lot of time work hardening. And you can do this with a metal hammer too. It will flatten it a little bit. It's just whatever you want it to look like. Wanda says, raise the camera. No,
I know.
no.
How are you not hitting your iPad?
Coming right in your face. All right. So then once you have done all of your work hardening, and I definitely would continue work hardening even more than that, but we are going to attach this to our bracelet now. So we're going to move on. But one side of this needs to be nice and closed and one side needs to be open, obviously, so that you can hook it to whatever you're going to hook it to, and so that it is secure on the other side. So you can see the open side is going to hook onto our seed beads, and it's just open just enough. You don't want to have it open way, way open, because then obviously that kind of defeats the purpose. Your little ring of beads is just going to slide out of there. The other side needs to be completely closed so that your jump ring does not slide off of it. And as I mentioned, I'm going to use this jump ring that's here. I'm going to have to reopen this, but
yeah, Wanda has the same question I did. Is that a nylon chisel hammer?
it is. It's a really strange shaped hammer. So I had to replace the one that I had before because a dog decided that it was the coolest chew toy ever. And I couldn't find one that was shaped like what I had before. So this one has a wedge on it, which I actually turned out, at first I was like, this is stupid. Why would I ever use that? But I use it for small things. So it actually worked out pretty well. So yeah, I like to use it when I'm hammering little small things. But there's our bracelet. Ta-da!
Oh, I love my birthday gift.
Right? It's perfect for you. It's so perfect for you. It's super
I would wear that all the time. That is so beautiful.
I love it. I love it. So then, you guys, we have 10 minutes left. I obviously am going to make a quick pair of earrings to go with this. But Sam, what are you working on?
Oh, I'm just trying to summon oh, whoa. I like this angle. I'm summoning some inner Sarah today.
Ooh la la.
Trying to have patience for making dangles. I used to make a ton of cluster earrings, but I would use only simple loops to make them.
Yeah.
But I love the look there of with the wire wrap loops. So I'm adding my last layer. If y'all don't know the Sarah's cluster technique, I believe it's loosely hooking, basically just doing layer by layer. Oh, I'm not on camera. Layer by layer of jump rings. So I just added one more jump ring. Add on a bead. essentially on either side, but I'll just do it on both on this side for this moment. And then continue to evaluate if you actually like the look of your cluster. Because I put on one of the leaves and it was too big. It just took over. Oh, there we go. And so my idea was that this cluster, I wanted something nice at the bottom. So like I was thinking either do like maybe the butterfly would be really cute.
Oh my gosh, that's so pretty.
But also I like the idea of like length as well here.
Ooh, either one of those is really beautiful.
So I think this brass component is single-sided, so I think I'm gonna take 2 of them and see how they look without being glued, and see if that helps. And you gotta kind of find the bottom of your cluster. Oh my gosh, this tiny little frame I have, it makes it twice as hard to see on camera. Here we go. I got this. Nope, no I don't. All right. There's the top. Okay. This is a good moment I don't think I like the look of 2 of them. I'd have to glue them together. Probably gonna make that one, but that's the general look.
That cluster is awesome. That's so pretty.
I felt very inspired. I was like, oh, I gotta get a cluster going.
Yes.
If I'm with Sarah today. Come on. Oh, come on. There we go. I think this would be a nice like center of a necklace. Wait, what happened? Oh, I guess I flipped it upside. Oh, that's not good. Actually, there are holes there if I wanted it to go that way.
You totally could make it go that way.
What do y'all think? Because I could attach either connection points technically in there. That's unexpected. Or we find the top of the cluster again. And I don't know. It could go either way. There's what it looks like the way I was originally going to do it.
Gosh, that's so pretty.
And obviously you can add in more beads per level if you really want to like fill it out. That's why Sarah's look so full, because I think sometimes you do more than one.
Oh, yeah.
On a level, right?
Yeah, sometimes I get a little crazy. It just really kind of depends on if I'm going for length or if I'm going for fullness. I'll look at the one that I did. I don't even remember if I did doubles on it. We'll take a look at it here in just a second. So let's see. Because Jan was asking, where's the cluster? It's right here. It's just not part of the it's not part of the design. But yeah, I did 2 on this one. So I did 2 beads per jump ring. Well, actually it's 4 because it's 2 on either side. But yeah, this one was really, really full and also very long. So, yeah, I did both because I got carried away. I couldn't resist. It was so fun. And truth be told, I really enjoy making wrapped loops. So, I mean,
wrap loops are way more satisfying.
They totally are. Simple loops are not fun to make.
No. So I had a suggestion to add the butterfly to it.
I love it with the butterfly.
Which is kind of cute. I just might need to add a few more beads into the cluster, but it is very cute.
So I just put together a little quick pair of earrings with some red jasper and then some of the beautiful little flowers. Just quick and easy because the bracelet's the bracelet's already got so much going on that I didn't.
Wait, did you just do that while I wasn't? That was fast.
Yeah, I just did that while you were doing what you were doing. Yeah, I did.
That's so funny.
They're so cute though. So yeah, there you go. I just couldn't resist using the flowers some more because I only put 2 in the bracelet. So I thought, the earrings kind of needed them. But
that's a great set. I do think they're on the smaller side for a Sarah earring.
Right? They are a little small for me. That is 100% true. This would probably be a better earring for me. This bead's a little heavy though, so I don't know. I think it's probably better for a pendant, but the length of the cluster is definitely the perfect length for an earring for sure.
Yeah, that cluster, that would be an eye-catching cluster.
Right? I like it. I like it. So if I put this, so I technically have like a necklace, earrings, and bracelet, because if I just throw this onto a piece of chain, then I have all of it ready to go.
That is, wow, that is.
Does it
Oh,
help?
yeah, you
Oh,
have
there
a
we
full
go.
you have a full
Sorry.
jewelry set. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And that's just a few beads in the box. That's what I love, is that you make the first set and you can still make like 5 more sets.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You have so many more beads to work with.
Trying to decide like what beads I would add to this. The Amazonite is pretty nice there.
I love the butterfly on the bottom. Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah, that was a
perfect.
great suggestion. Thank you for that suggestion. Let's see. Oh, I got more comments here. Punch a hole in the top of the flower link. Yeah, if I wanted it centered, but I think I'm just gonna connect either I have those 2 holes there. I'm just gonna use those as connection points.
Perfect. Yep.
It'll actually have a kind of a cool look, because it'll let that kite shape poke up a little bit. Just like that.
So pretty. I love
I
it.
think that's gonna be nice.
Yep.
I'm excited. So just to make sure there's not confusion, Sarah worked with the Market Marvels box, which is a past box. Anytime you want to shop past boxes, those will be at samsbeadshop.com. We have all the links for that box in the comments of this video. The beads I'm working with are from the latest Sam's Bead box. This is the, I gotta zoom out. This is the Sweet Peach box that just came out. We got a whole live sale today and Thursday, inspired by these colors. So if you're looking for some peach moonstone and some Amazonite, definitely come on out to today's sale on the Sam's Bead Shop app. This is this month's box, which actually you could also now find, I think, at samsbeadshop.com. But if you want future boxes, that's what I'm trying to get at. If you want future boxes, that would be at samsbeadbox.com. And you can use code, I don't want to get it wrong, Sarah. Let's see.
Sarah Tim?
Sarah's. Wait, no. Yes, no? I can't remember. Hold on. Let's see.
Sarah,
just Sarah.
That's what it is. Oh yes, just Sarah was one of them. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Now
SARA. And that'll get you $5 off your first Sam's Bead box. So you would get July as your first box, which is not the one I work with the June box. You would get the July box as your first box. Sometimes people email Jesse and say, hey, can you make my first box the current box, the June box? And sometimes they'll say yes.
All the time.
So if you subscribe today and shoot him an email, he might be able to get you the June box and then get you set up with the July box as well.
Oh, I'm getting the VIP.
Yeah, Jesse takes care of our folks. So you just email hello@samsbeadshop.com. He can help you out. He's on his computer right now. He can help you out pretty darn quickly. I have other thing I can just tell you about, Sarah. I don't think
Tell me all the
I've
things.
put my camera around. Let's see.
Me too.
There we go. Oh, that was pretty good. You made a full jewelry set. I think that was pretty good.
So I wanted to show the cluster hanging. It's so much better when it's not, up against and I'm like trying to. So look how pretty.
That's nice.
It's so pretty.
I can show my cluster.
It's so pretty. I love it.
Let's see.
I love the different beads in that cluster. That's gorgeous. That's so pretty. The flowers were the perfect addition to that.
Yeah. I think I need to turn one of the charms around because currently I can't have both charms facing forward at once. So we'll have to work on that. But that's an easy fix. The update I want to tell you is we've been working on like a new project at the shop.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of a test run this year, but I'm really hoping it can become an annual thing. It's kind of our equivalent of our Tucson in July is how I'm thinking of it.
Yeah.
So we're calling it Sam's Gem Fest.
Ooh.
So we came up with that name yesterday, so you have to tell me if you love it or hate it. And
I kind of love it.
and we're going to do, starting on my birthday, July 14th, we're going to do 2 weeks of live sales and classes.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's going to be 10, kind of like we do in Tucson, we do 2 weeks of live sales and classes. We're going to do 5 live sales a week for 2 weeks. And we're going to do, I believe, 5 free classes during those 2 weeks as well.
Oh, that's so fun.
And each sale has a theme. So there's going to be there's a Jesse Pick sale that he'll host. There's a Sam's Favorite sale. We're going to do a bead weaving theme sale. I don't know. Am I allowed to share all these themes? Whatever. There's many themes. We have a Shira Pearl sale. So we really try to make really specific themes for each of the sales. So if you can kind of pick the ones you want to come to. I'm very excited. We've been kind of working overtime, prepping extra beads and goodies for July because it's actually coming up in starting in a couple of weeks. We started prepping this a few months ago, and so I'm very excited. It's going to be Sam's Gem Fest. I hope folks will come and join us. Maybe we can try to rope Sarah in a fun way. You never know.
I'm all for it. Anything you need, you just let me know.
So I'm very excited about that. What is going on in your camp of things?
In my camp of things, just the regular old week stuff. So I will be live with Hardwired at 4 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. We are putting together. What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, we're making a pendant. I haven't taken a picture of it yet, but I will show it to you guys. Give you a little teaser here. So we're putting together this pendant for Hardwired this week. Hardwired is going to be open for enrollment next week. So if things like this inspire you and you want to learn how to do these kinds of things, I definitely would like to encourage you to come and be a part of Hardwired. We do a little bit of everything in Hardwired. We used to focus specifically just on wire, but at the turn of the year, we just celebrated our 4-year anniversary, our birthday with Hardwired. So
my gosh, it has been 4 years. That's
we've been changing it up. So week before last, we did this guy, and this is macrame. So if don't be intimidated by it just being wire, because it's not. Like we do a little bit of everything. So Hardwired will be open for enrollment starting next week.
Those are incredible projects.
They're fun. We always
really nice.
And I take suggestions. I think I really try to give everybody in Hardwired what they ask for. Mainly because after 4 years of trying to come up with projects, I run out of ideas. So now we've kind of turned it into a place where you make the suggestion and then I just make it happen, and it's fun. We do it that way. So if that sounds like something you would like to come and be a part of, guys, that'll be open for enrollment next week. However, Patreon is open for enrollment anytime you want. So Patreon, super easy to subscribe to. $10 a month is going to get you at the very least 3 additional projects from me a month. Those are exclusive to Patreon members only. So you won't see them on Facebook. You won't see them on YouTube. And those projects are really about inspiring you to use things that you have in your own stash. So I'm not trying to push you to buy anything. I'm really trying to make you look at the things that you already own, that you bought initially because you loved them, but then they're just kind of sitting there. So I try to inspire you to actually turn those things into pieces of jewelry. And it's actually worked out not just for the people who watch, but for me as well, because I'm really creating things that I always wanted to create, but just never did. So it's been a lot of fun. So if you'd like to be a Patreon member, I'd love to have you for that. And then, of course, Feel Good Friday happens every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah. So that's it for me.
It sounds like a good week to me. And I love the Patreon projects are really cool. You get in your email box. It's really, and you get to see the design, the video. It's really cool.
Yeah, they're fun. They're a lot of fun, and I have inspired people to use things. And I think that we forget about, I have a whole like box of beads that I just love, and I love to just look at them, and then I forget that like the reason I bought those originally was to make something out of them. So this is my year. I told everybody at the beginning of the year, this is my year for doing just that, using the things that I love. Drink out of the champagne glass, even if it's just milk, using wear the good shoes, carry the good purse, wear the good jewelry, like, and use the good beads. So that's my theme for 2025. So
I think that was a great theme.
Thanks. It's working out pretty well. I mean, it makes life fun. Like, use the good china. You have it, use it.
Yeah, absolutely. God, I'm trying to think of what the equivalent would be for me. I know you're gonna get my brain turning today. What am I not using?
Exactly. There's something you've got that you just kind of like, you only get it out for special occasions for whatever reason. You should be using it all the time. And
I don't know if this is the equivalent, but I started going through my freezer last night.
Freezer clean out. That totally works.
So I saw some post online. I was like, you should just like fully finish your freezer like at least once a year. I was like, oh yeah, I really should.
I have a whole bag of crab legs in my freezer that I see them when I go to the freezer, and I'm like, I should just make those. I shouldn't wait for a good excuse. I just need to make them because I like them.
Now I'm like trying to like plan fun recipes from things in my freezer. I thawed some chicken last night that said it was from like 2023. And it was already cooked, and I tried it. It was very, very dry tasting.
I bet.
And I was like, this is not worth the chance. This one's gonna we're gonna say thank you and goodbye to this shredded chicken. And try to use things that are more recent in this freezer clean out.
Yeah. Just because you freeze it does not mean it lasts forever.
I was hoping it would. But I didn't even know it was there until I started like digging around, and I've like I found like these about like 2 weeks ago, but I already forgot. I bought these mochi sorbets.
Yeah.
Like little mochi balls that are like filled with mango sorbet. They were so good. I ate half the box last night.
I love it.
You're doing it. I don't know if this counts, but this is how I'm interpreting it so far.
This group always manages to talk about food, so I'm not surprised in the least. I think it's fabulous. I like it.
Found lots of bagels in there. There's some great treasure in there. So
that's what I'm saying. Like down in the bottom of mine, there's actually vegetables in mine. I'm like, I have vegetables in my, like, who knew? You can eat those.
They're not just ice packs.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wanda says, perfect cocaine tossings will give you food poisoning. Thank you, Wanda. Yeah, I had to say goodbye to those. It's like, not worth it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it has been so fun, and it's been way too long. Let's do this again real soon.
Absolutely.
Let's not wait another year to get back together.
It will be much, much less than a year. I count on it.
Awesome. Yay. I love it. I hope you guys have enjoyed hanging out with me and Sam today. It was so much fun, as always, and we made some beautiful pieces of jewelry, which always happens. We may laugh a lot, and we may giggle and talk about food, but we definitely put together some fun pieces of jewelry every time we're together. So I think the world needs some more of this for sure.
We have a lot of past streams because Sarah unboxed the very first Sam's Bead box in March 2021. So if you go back to some of our old replays, like if you go to either of our YouTube channels and go to the live tab, some of those are really funny. So
yeah, they are.
More to come. More to come.
Remember when everybody thought we got married? That was funny.
Well, I made it because I think I was in charge of making that stream, and I said Sarah's wedding necklace. Yeah. And then I wake up, and the next day, and Sarah texts me. She said, I just woke up to 100 messages of people congratulating me. Yeah. And I was like, I'm so
it was so unexpected too. It was really funny, but yeah.
I just thought her necklace looked like a beautiful bridal piece.
And it did.
I didn't mean it was for Sarah's wedding. It was just Sarah's wedding necklace. But who knows?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, that was a good one. There was one stream where I completely lost it too. I like could not speak for the rest of the stream. And I think it was something Nilay said in the comments is my memory of it. And I don't even know what it was. I could not speak after that.
It happens. It happens.
Yep. I still wear my Dolly shirt from you, and I get occasional questions. Where was I traveling to? And someone was like, "Who's that?" And
What?
I did that same double take. Dolly
What?
Parton, the one of the most prolific singer-songwriters of all time, and I Will Always Love You, that Whitney Houston then also said, like, nothing. Okay, whoa. It was a wild moment. But usually the most common comment I get, because I have that Dolly shirt and then I bought a Nelly Dolly shirt in Tucson this year.
Yeah.
And I get so many comments on those shirts of like, yeah, let's go Dolly. And there's the Dolly love is alive and well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So we'll be back soon. We'll let y'all know the next date. And
Yes.
we have to pick it first. And so we will let you know. Maybe during Gem Fest would be, I think, extra fun. If we
I think that would be fun.
See if Sarah's in town in July. So
Yes.
thank you, friends.
Thanks, everybody. You guys have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, and we will see you guys soon, okay?
See you soon. I'll see some of you on the live sale later. Bye-bye.
Bye.